Good evening and welcome to the Invictus Racing League's PlayStation Performance League Japanese Grand Prix. I am Tim, back with my co-commentator, as always, Malk. How are you doing today?
Hello, Tim. I'm doing very well, mate. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, just ready to see some action around the Suzuka circuit. It may have been quite a while since we've seen the real-life Formula One grace this circuit, but it has not been that long since we've seen Invictus Racing League here, and we're about to see them again tonight. And it's going to be a fantastic track, 27 laps around here, and you even got the pleasure of commentating the F3 race yesterday, so you've already got a sneak peek of what's to come.
For some of the drivers, yes. I've seen some of the drivers that have raced in the F3 League yesterday, and I'll tell you what, it was a great race. Wherever happens, it's been an absolute classic race. It went from dry, and then straight, about 5 or 6 laps in, it went straight to rain, and it kept going throughout the whole race. So I'm not going to be surprised if we're going to get any rain conditions this evening, but we'll have to wait and see how everything goes as well. So I cannot wait for it tonight. Some of the drivers who've had a bit of unfortunate stuff from F3 yesterday, hopefully that they'll bounce back as quickly as possible, and hopefully we'll get, try and forget what happened yesterday and try and get a decent result in the Performance League tonight, Tim.
And hopefully there's not going to be any rain, though, Malk. I very much am looking forward to a dry circuit around here, so hopefully I get my wish. But nonetheless, I do expect great things from Japan. This is the Invictus Racing League's PlayStation Performance League, brought to you in partnership by Driver61, GridFinder.com, and Nelco Hall. Big thank you to our sponsors for jumping on board, supporting the stream, and the league as a whole. And it looks like it's a bit of a cloudy and overcast day for these 15 drivers who have yet to qualify for the race, but not sure what the prediction is going to be for the race just yet.
Not yet. We will have to wait and see how everything goes from the perspective of the drivers itself. Guys, thank you so much for joining in the chat. How you doing? Hope everyone's okay and well. IRL's on the chat says, hello, boys. Yeah, hello, mate. How you doing? Smoke says, Tim! So we got Smokes is a fan of yours. Fallon says, go on, Ginger Tiger. So let's see what you can try and do. ARL says, how are you guys? We're both fine. We're excited for the Japanese Grand Prix. Rain says, what's up, people? Good evening. How you doing, Rain? It's good to see you back on the chat, as always, each and every single week. And Sam says, no rain for race, from what I've been told. So I don't know if that's one of the drivers that are racing tonight. We'll get that definitely confirmed. If you are in the race, I do apologise, but we normally get it from the admins just to clarify as well. But,
well, now, that appears to be Tal. Sam Tal's telling us that there's no rain in the race, and Tal is in the Red Bull tonight, so I'm going to trust his word.
My bad. Sorry, Sam. I didn't see the surname, sorry. My head's all over the place. Yeah, so Tal, I hope you're okay. Well, thank you for that. We've got no rain tonight, so it is confirmed. There is no rain. He's the new weather crew guy now, from now on. Russ says, evening, guys. Struggled with this track this week. Yeah, I noticed that. Hopefully you'll try and bounce back as well, Russman. Hopefully you'll be alright. And Spud says, yeah, no rain. So Spud is on ball as well. Sorry, Tal. I do apologise for that. But are you excited for this track, Tim?
I'm very excited for this track. Just watching Steven now, and saw he got into the grass a little bit there. You're going to be very careful getting into the grass down this long straightaway. It's going to upset that car, and you're going to go into the wall. That you're carrying so much speed, you really can't afford a mistake. But thankfully, it's a nice long straightaway that you can just have the car pointed the right way, but that final chicane is going to pretty much make or break someone's lap. Now, you see Steven going very wide here to try to set himself up for the most speed possible down this straightaway, but as long as he doesn't invalidate his lap, look for him to hug the inside line through that final corner this time. Of course, using a little bit of curve into turn number 1 and through turn number 2 as well. There is some grip to be found there, and then this is a nice, tricky section here, just a section of S's. You're constantly switching the car over from left to right to left to right, really having to worry about weight distribution through this set of corners. Now, going up the hill, you got to be very careful. You hear Steven actually burp the throttle a little bit. That's because that corner is prone to wheel spin, and it will send you around. You can hug these curves a little bit, be very careful to not go wide, and that's another corner with that dip right there in the middle at the apex that can really turn you around just before you go under the underpass. Now, here's the hairpin. This corner is, well, it's wide, it's slow, it's very difficult to take, and I'd say that it's going to cause a pain in the rear end to a lot of drivers today. But we might see some overtakes down this straightaway, not a DRS zone, but if you can get a good run out of the hairpin, you can at least challenge your competitor. And now, of course, here's the long straightaway, the very long straightaway. Again, surprisingly for me, it's not a DRS zone, but nonetheless, we might see some overtakes going into this corner up here, which you really just have to burp the throttle a tiny bit. And I don't even think Steven had to burp it at all as he went through there. Now you have to slow way down for that final chicane. Now let's see the line that Steven takes through here, hugging the inside, really staying next to the inside as much as he can. Had a little bit of an issue there to where he had to dance with the car, but he goes a 131.603.
That's a good time from Steven, but when I watched it from the F3 yesterday, we had the low 29s. That was on the softs, so I'm waiting to see what's going to happen with the mediums. The fastest medium I remembered yesterday was a 130.3, maybe a little bit lower, but that was the best that they did. Delange is a 130.881, so his pole position at the moment. I tell you what, Ginger Tigers told me off because a 130.770, a great time. Watching it from his lap as well. He had a great lap, to be fair, Tim. Well done to him.
Taking a look at Maddie now in the other Alpine car. Of course, the car-allocated teammate of Ginger Tiger today. Not necessarily, though, his actual teammate. We'll explain that here in just a moment for any newcomers on the stream. But watching Maddie go through the final corner now, he's staying really close to the inside line. That's what I expected Steven to do, and Maddie gets the pole, a 130.659 in the Alpine.
Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant stuff from Matty. He really has stepped up the gear a few times this season. Nigel Gash, fastest medium driver at the moment with a 131.370. Track also 131.452. JP 911959 did a 131.952. It's the slowest driver at the moment on the softs, Tim.
So going back to what we were saying about the teammate situation, now Maddie and Ginger Tiger, they do happen to actually be teammates, but just because they're in the same car today doesn't mean, or just because two drivers are in the same car doesn't mean they're actual teammates. Now, Maddie and Ginger Tiger, they drive for All Thumbs Massey, which, by the way, are leading the constructors' standings with 88 points, and it's rare for those to actually be as Smoke goes around. So Smoke's spinning around after a 130.6 on the medium tires.
I was just about to say, I didn't mean to interrupt you there, Tim, sorry about that, but I was just about to say Smoke, hopefully not smoking his tyres at the moment, but he has spun after turn 1, so that'll be a crucial point for them all. And Ginger Tiger just done the fastest lap with a 130.554, Tim.
We're just trying to find a driver that is on a lap. A lot of them really invalidating at the moment. Let's take a look at Sir Spud in the Mercedes, as he is just now entering the second sector, so it'll be a while before he gets back around to start his lap. Sunboy, though, he is in the third and final sector, so he will start his flying lap this time, except he invalidated. Is that going to count against his flying lap, too? Yes, it is. So he dives down into the pits.
Absolutely, and hopefully he'll try and bounce back as quickly as possible. Just watching Russman now. Russman moves up to 5th for 130.898. That's a great time for him as well. Reed says, yep, the leader can save all the ERS and the driver behind hurts his tyres. Important to get ahead. Singapore is kind of different, more low-speed colours, so you don't understeer as much. Absolutely. IRL says, do the air hunts in the S's of Sector 1, and Bono! My tyre! Oh, gone! I couldn't say the word, sorry. Forgot about that. But yeah, those great moments from Reigns about the tip there. You have to be ahead of your driver in the qualifying because it's crucial. But the tyre wear is going to be important as well. Now, the stats that I remembered last time, when you're in the dry, the softs can only last, what I predicted last time, is lasted at least 10 laps, but they can go a little bit longer. It's probably about 13, 14 laps, and then the rest for the medium tire. So I expect to be a one-stop strategy, Tim, unless we do have a safety car.
And a safety car certainly is possible. It may only be 15 drivers around here today, but make no mistake, these are 15 hungry drivers that want a win on the season. But going back to our team championship standings, it is All Thumbs Massey in first and 82 points belonging to Speed Spud in second. That, of course, being Speed Queen 80 and Sir Spud in third. Tortoise and the Hare with Delange and Sab with 74 points. And our driver standings, Russman and Ginger Tiger are up at the top of the standings with Russman's 49 points to Ginger Tiger's 48. So a very close championship battle there with Nitro Gash in P3 with only 45 points, and he is tied with Sir Spud, also 45 points. So we're really seeing close championship battles early on in the season, and I know that that is not exactly uncommon because everyone's still building up their points total, but just the fact that we have two drivers that are tied for a position and then two drivers that are close to being tied, I just think that we're going to have another fantastic battle like we did last season that saw ARL win the Realistic Performance League title.
Oh God, yeah, that was an absolute classic, to be fair. And are we going to see another dramatic ending where we're going to go all the way to the end with the title itself? That's a big question of it all, Tim. That's a big question of it all as well. Rain says, I hate to be some boy in the alpha, no grip. He's just doing this out lap in a minute, so we'll have a look at him in a moment too. Hello, Ellie. How you doing? It's this evening, everyone. How you doing, Ellie? Hope you're having a good evening so far on the Thursday evening of the 17th of March 2022. Just having a look at Speed Queen now. Let's see what she can do. She's purple, Tim. She's purple on the first sector, and she's coming up to the hairpin corner, which that's one of the corners to watch out for as well, because there could be a few overtakes that we might see during the race as well. And the corner that... Sorry. The corner that you forgot to mention about where she's coming up now is called Spoon Curve. This is the Spoon Curve corner. It feels like you're on a roller coaster ride. And this is where you push on now to get to the end of the second sector, and then going to be an unbelievable if we're going to have 2 wide or 3 wide scenario at 130R, Tim. Imagine that.
Oh, that would be insane, Malcolm. We know how much you love those scenarios. Just over 7.5 minutes remaining in the qualifying session. Speed Queen 80 hugging that inside line. And as she crosses the line, she will go to P12, a 131.826. Really not the time that I think we were expecting to see from her after seeing that purple first sector.
No, I don't know whether she's just lost it through the second into the third. We're not 100% sure. We got yellow flags on sector 1. I think they're all gone now. But don't get me wrong, Speed Queen, correct me if I'm wrong, Tim. Speed Queen, she's had some good results last week, to be fair. She had, correct me if I'm wrong, I think she had 2 7th places. So that was at the Dutch Grand Prix and the Italian Grand Prix. So she's taking it easy. She's going to try and save all those, the tyre wear. She's good with tyre management as well. So watch out for her as well. And also, Sab, who's not done a lap just yet, is still stuck in the pits. But he had a great race last week. Remember that, Tim? He had a fantastic race. His first on the podium for a very long time.
And, you know, Sab, he was just over the moon when we were talking to him, because he was very honest that he had been hard on himself, and that he even told us he thought about quitting, as we see Smoke go to a 130.328, so that's top spot of the board. But Sab had even thought about quitting racing, but he stuck with it, kept his head down, and now he finally does have a result to show for it. It was a podium last week, and hopefully, just maybe, he can carry that confidence over today in Suzuka.
Hopefully so. But again, it could be, I don't know whether it would be the nerves that he's not doing the qualifying and just hope for the best. I don't know. But I just hope he does get qualifying time as soon as possible. Smoke had a great time, actually. He's in pole position at the moment, 130.328. And we got 2 drivers, Tim. I don't know if you noticed. 2 drivers exactly the same time, joined second, but I think Nitrogrash had the faster time in one of the sectors. Well, I'll tell you what, Ginger Tigers told us off again. We told him one driver that they got pole, and then he probably heard us and say, no, mate, I'll beat you to that pole, a 130.217, Tim.
Yeah, Ginger Tiger definitely not messing around there. a very quick time, and I think that we're going to be seeing even more quick times. It's definitely not over yet. Taking a look at Beekson Roberts now, last week's winner of the Dutch Grand Prix, and he was happy himself. He was in the Aston Martin last week. He's in the Alpha Tauri this week, and Sab has retired from the session, so he has decided that enough was enough, and I guess being in the pits was just enough for him. He does not want to set a qualifying lap. He's starting from the back, but at least he can only go forward from there.
Absolutely, and remember, from the Performance League itself, whatever position that you finish, as long as you don't get disqualification or DNF at all during the race, you will guarantee points at whatever position that you are in. So obviously the higher the position, the more points that you accumulate for this season as well. So let's hope Sab can try and get himself into the top 10 again, and that will be an amazing achievement for him. But let's see what he can try and do probably during the race as well. I'm just trying to have a look to see if there's any action galore. It looks like BX and Roberts just crossed the line, and he did a 1:30.611, Tim.
Decent time from Beekson Roberts, sends himself to the 5th position, a 1:30.611, as Delange in the pits. Cannot take a look at him, but we will go ahead and take a look at JP, the winner from Bahrain, I do believe, earlier in the season, as Tarak goes quickest, a 1:30.005. JP dives down into the pits after an invalidated lap. Rustman in the Aston Martin, he's about to finish his flying lap. Let's see what he does. No, he's not. He's already finished his flying lap. He's going into the pits, just teasing us now.
He's absolutely teasing us, Tim. Unbelievable scenes. Spud is... Oh, he lost it at the hairpin corner. But he saved it, Tim. He saved it at the hairpin corner. This is where the pressure is building up now at Suzuka, because we've got 3 minutes 25 left. Who will try and stop Tarak with a perfect time, nearly the 1:30 flats, but with 5,000 on a second. Mad scenes, to be fair. But if you like what we've seen so far, guys, please make sure you like and subscribe to the Invictus Racing League YouTube channel for all the live races itself. We are aiming for at least 10 likes tonight, guys. We're aiming for at least 10 likes tonight. It would be a massive confidence boost for myself and Tim as the commentators, and also for Invictus Racing League on the YouTube channel. Thank you so much, guys. And Tim, who are you watching so far?
Well, actually just trying to find someone to watch, Mac. Most of them are out there in the pits, rather, instead of out on the track. Taking a look at Tarak, as he likely will be pulling in, but Maddie is on an outlap. So we'll switch over to the Alpine of Maddie, see what he's able to do, as he is just now in the 2nd sector of the race course, so it'll be a while, about to approach the hairpin corner, and this is really the time where drivers are going to start to go out and complete their final laps. The track is nice and rubbered up, and with the overcast, it's nice and cool, so I'm sure that there is some grip out there to be found along with the rubber on the track surface. So I look for Maddie to be a little bit quicker. We saw how quick he was early on in the session. I expect him to be very quick on what will likely be his final flying lap of the session. Rustman, of course, going out there, as is JP and Sunboy, and like I said, all the drivers are starting to come out on track now.
You would expect that now, Tim. You would expect pretty much nearly everyone to get themselves sorted. I'm just watching Tao now to do his pretty much his one and only lap, unless he makes a mistake at this time. But let's see what we can try and do. Come up to the 1st sector. The 1st sector, Tim, I mean, when was the last time you driven around Suzuka? I forgot to mention earlier.
I'd say it's been a few months, actually, since I have driven around Suzuka.
So, do you feel like Sector 1's the more challenging part of the track, or do you feel like there's other parts of the track that are challenging than ever before?
Personally, I think that the 3rd sector, Spoon Curve, as you were talking about, is probably the most challenging corner for me. Of course, the 2nd sector is a little bit challenging as well, as I was mentioning. So I'll talk you through it here. This uphill section, I don't like that at all. It will just give me wheel spins, turn me into the wall. And then I really want to attack this curve here, but you have to be careful so that you don't go too wide. So that's another one that has kind of got a love-hate relationship with me. The hairpin, it really just depends on my exit, but Spoon Curve, for some reason, I can just never get right. And apparently Maddie has invalidated his lap, so he likely will do no better than the 7th position today. Maybe he's got enough time to get back around, but it's going to be very, very close for him.
Absolutely, unless he's got enough to try and hold on to doing one more lap to build it up. We'll have to wait and see how everything goes. But Tao is just coming up to the 3rd sector now, coming up to the last bit of the chicane part now. Let's see what he can try and do down the straight. As you can see, he will try and push up to 11th. So 1:30.851. Not good enough for Tao to get himself into the top 10, but again, starting off in 11th will give you the best opportunity with the fresh tyres as well. That will be the most important thing of it all. I'm just having a look to see where Ginger Tiger is now. Ginger Tiger is through the SS part now. SS part now, and the qualifying has now stopped him.
And take a look at Smoke in the AlphaTauri. He is in the third sector now, so we'll see what he can do. He surprised us with a provisional pole lap a while ago. Of course, Ginger Tiger and Turok knocked him down a couple of spots, but we'll see if Smoke is able to reclaim that top spot at the end of this lap as he now goes through Spoon Curve, now down the very long straightaway, and we'll see just what the AlphaTauri driver can do. Then we'll switch over to the Alpine of Ginger Tiger. This one's going to be for all the marbles. This will definitely be Smoke's final flying lap. Meanwhile, it looks like Matty was able to get back around, so he will be on a flying lap. Through the final chicane goes Smoke, hugging that inside line, taking the shortest way around the corner that he can. He crosses the line. Smoke will go to pole, 129.825.
Brilliant stuff, but purple on second sector for Ginger Tiger. Could he find 4/10ths from the last sector? He needs it. He really, really needs it. Can Ginger Tiger do it? No, he will not. And I repeat him, he will not improve his time. Well, he does improve his time, but he will not improve from third place. And Nigergash is coming up to the last part of the sector now. This is going to be insane stuff now. We'll have to wait and see what... I think it's... Stephen moves up to 5th. Nigergash moves up to 3rd, Tim. Good lap.
And Matty dives down into the pits. He will do no better than 10th. The qualifying is over, and I do believe that what you see is what you're going to get.
Unbelievable scenes, team. Absolutely unbelievable. Well done, Smoke, actually. Out of nowhere, and I'll say that again, out of nowhere, with a 129.825. And Reed says track was really good in F2 this week, so no surprise with that lap. That was earlier on when he had the pole for a brief moment. And Reed says Smoke is flying. Yeah, burning with fire. It's smoking itself. Smoke says heart is pounding. It's not. It's the nerves that's kicking in as well. You'll be fine. But can you do it in the race? That's the big question of it all, Smoke.
And your official starting line. Yes, I already was ahead of you, Malk.
Yeah, sorry, mate. I do apologise. Here is short qualifying classification.
No, you're fine. You're fine. We're just having fun up here. But your official starting lineup for the Invictus Racing League's PlayStation Performance League Japanese Grand Prix is Smoke on the pole, Turok in 2nd, Nitrogash in 3rd, Ginger Tiger in 4th, Delange in 5th, O. Steven in 6th, 7th is JP, Sunboy in 8th, 9th is Roberts, Matty in 10th, Rutsman in 11th, 12th is Tal, Speed Queen 80 in 13th, 14th is Sir Spud, and 15th is Sab. After electing to not set a qualifying time, he'll be starting from the back, but it doesn't matter where you start. It only matters where you finish. This is the Invictus Racing League's PlayStation Performance League, brought to you in partnership by GridFighter.com, Nailcoat Hall, and Driver61. And Malk, it is time for our top 3 predictions.
Oh, you try to get yourself in straight away, Tim. I like your tactics. Tic-tacs with tactics. This is going to be quite interesting stuff. I reckon Smoke, Turok. I'm going to say Nitrogash as well for my top 3. Tim?
Well, our choices are close today, but not quite identical. I'm going to go with, in any order, Smoke, Turok, and Ginger Tiger.
Ooh, this is quite interesting. Quite interesting stuff. We'll have to wait and see if it all goes to plan as well. Rain says, damn, look at Nitros as well. One of his best qualities, I believe. Yeah, it was. It was a great quality, to be fair. Rain says, solid lap, Smoke. Yeah, he did a great lap, to be fair. He did a fantastic lap. And Russman with the, no, Michael, no! Get in there, Smoke. That's what Russman, absolute ledge as well. So, if you like what you see so far, guys, please make sure you like, subscribe to the Invictus Racing League YouTube channel for all the live races itself. We are aiming for at least 10 likes tonight, guys. We're aiming for at least 10 likes tonight. It will be a massive help to myself and Tim as the commentators, and also a massive help to Invictus Racing League on the YouTube channel as well. Thank you so much. But also, if you're in the chat, what's your thoughts of the top three? Who do you think your top three will be? Do you think our predictions is right, or do you think there'll be a few shocks along the way? We'll have to wait and see. Now, remember, Tim, this is a dry race. Definitely one stop. Whatever happens, it will be a one-stop race. This will be, without doubt, going to be unbelievable moments. This track has got so many historical moments in the real life and also in Invictus. This one is going to be a blast, Tim.
It really is, and I am excited, and I'm wondering how long is it going to take for these drivers to choose their strategy. Hey, there we go. We get our answer. 26 seconds.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think they're probably to wait for you to say, we're waiting to find out what they're going to try and pick their moments as well. Ellis says, JP podium incoming. Yeah, he had a great podium, actually, correct me if I'm wrong, yesterday. I'm useless at remembering stuff, but he had a great race, if I remember it right, yesterday, to be fair. And Joel says, good luck, guys. Good luck to you as well, to have watch the, or be in the participations in the race itself. So, but yeah, it looks like turn one is going to be absolutely crucial for these guys. And looking at the tyre wear, I am not surprised, Tim. I am absolutely not surprised. Oh my God! No, Track has lost it. That is a massive mistake from the driver who's done well in F2. Luckily, did you see that, Tim?
I caught the tail end of it, and you know, Malk, I'll definitely say that those tires are warmed up now.
Well, hopefully it's not smoking like smoke on that, to be fair. But that's a bad mistake from Tarak. Hopefully that's not going to kick-start the race. That's going to dent that confidence boost, shouldn't it, as well?
Honestly, I think that Tarak probably doesn't care. I don't know. I think that he just wanted to check out the scenery, you know? I mean, one thing that you may not know about Tarak is that he admires the grass. And, of course, I'm just making this up as I go. But he admires the grass, and he just wanted to make sure that it was nice and soft.
Absolutely.
That's what he did. He just spins into the grass. He's our landscaping crew. He's just checking it out.
Yeah, he's checking out all the cars, making sure they're on the right tyres, and checking all the info before he starts the race. Ellie says, JP... Oh, yeah, sorry about that, Ellie. I do apologise. JP did spin. But I don't know whether he got caught by Steven yesterday, so... But yeah, I've totally forgot. Sorry about that. But yeah, Rain says, well predicted winner. Podium fight, Smoke, Jinter, Nitro, and Delange. It's really close for like the millionth time this week. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see if everything gets smooth from everyone else. But I hope we have a classic. It's going to be dry. There's no rain at all. There'll be a one-stop strategy scenario, and I reckon the softs will go in at about lap 13, 14, but it just all depends on how these guys can try and capitalise and keep their composure, Tim.
And that's the key word, Malk, is composure. Stay calm. Do not get a big head, and do not let the pressure get to you. It is 27 laps of racing around this course, and normally I would say we're waiting for the drivers at the back to find their way to the grid, but it is Tarak that we're waiting on to find his position on the grid after his landscaping adventure. But nonetheless, he is there, and we are just about ready to go for 27 laps of racing. And you hear those engine pedal peak, you hear those engines revving, you hear the drivers watching the lights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights in the air. No red lights. We are green for the Invictus Racing League's PlayStation Performance League Japanese Grand Prix. Smoke, it's a fantastic start. The Alpine is already off. Who was that? That was Ginger Tiger. He is off. He is not out, but he is definitely far back in the count, and it's already a safety car, perhaps. Is it? No, not yet. It is still green. Still green. Smoke leads. Nitro Gash in second. Turok in third. Delange in fourth. And then fifth is Sunboy. And pretty much there's not a lot of battles going on anymore because it's just drivers running nose to tail. They had to spread out in order to avoid the spinning car of Ginger Tiger. Ginger Tiger, he wishes that it was a safety car. He needs a safety car to get back into contention. Likely some wing damage. We'll go ahead and take a look at the Alpine now for just a brief moment. And there is no wing damage because there's just no front wing to be damaged. Meanwhile,
That's
JP
right.
having a tight battle here as Sunboy taking a look on the outside of Delange. And what was it you saw, Mount?
I'm sorry to interrupt you there, Tim. I was watching BX and Roberts and Matty having a good battle. It looked like BX and Roberts was just going to the back. But I saw there was some contact from O'Stephen, who also got caught by one of the drivers at turn one. So he struck himself all the way down to the back, nearly to the back of the grid in 14th place. But Ginger Tiger O'Stephen having a torrid time at the moment in the first lap of this race, Tim.
And we got JP looking underneath the Alfa Romeo. There's too many Alphas in the field, but the Alfa Romeo of Sunboy goes very wide, and now he's dropping back to 6th place because there goes the Ferrari underneath him. It's a tight battle. JP gets around him. Ginger Tiger, a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. So now it is JP, Sunboy, and Maddie running 5th, 6th, and 7th down the front straightaway. Maddie going to look on the underneath of Sunboy. Does he get the move done? Yes, he does. He clears him into 1.
Oh, that's a brilliant move there from Matty. Get it in there. Brilliant stuff. JP, what Ellie said on the chat is more like redemption. He wants to try and get a decent result after what happened yesterday in the F3 League. So he's going to be at his very best at the moment. He's having a good start at the moment in 5th place. But Sunboy catching up to Matty after that move. He'll be firing up, Sunboy, to be fair to him.
So JP having a good day so far in the 5th position. Meanwhile, Smoke still leads over Nitro Gash and Turok after 2 laps completed. Or lap 2 rather. Nitro Gash and Turok having a nice battle between one another. And we'll see how that plays out. Both of these drivers, of course, in the McLaren today. They'll be sharing a pit box, and that could lead to a few issues if they continue to run as close as they are on track at the moment.
Absolutely, but this is where the DRS is going to kick in at the next lap, so these guys are going to have to try and get close to Smoke, because this is what happened yesterday, Tim, in the F3. One of the drivers was really ahead, massively ahead, and I tell you what, oh my god, Tarak, what a move actually, what a move against Nitrogas just before the 130R. Oh, damn. I tell you what, that's a good move there from Tarak, but Nitrogas will be pushing on as much as possible. Tarak has got the fastest lap of the race with 1:33.567, Tim.
So Tarak slowly creeping up on Smoke, but Smoke has got a decent little bit of breathing room out behind him. If we can get a time interval, I can give you an update on that. A 1.6 second gap, 1.5 second gap now. Tarak, he seems to be fairly strong through that first sector. Smoke, maybe he's struggling just a little bit, but I think that Smoke has got straight line speed where Tarak might have just a little bit more rear downforce to give that car some grip. And that just goes to show the difference in driving style and the difference in setups and how it can make or break your race and just how much it can benefit you on a certain part of the track versus another, because now we see Smoke starting to pull away at least briefly, but then through those really slow corners, Tarak does gain on him just a touch, but because Suzuka has 2 very long straightaways, I think that is what's really been able to give Smoke the speed that he's got right now. But Tarak is an experienced driver, make no mistake, he knows exactly how to win races and how to finish in the podium spots. So I would not count him out just yet, as Maddie is getting closer to JP. Ferrari and Alpine having a nice battle. Of course, ahead of them is Delange in the Aston Martin. So this is pretty much a 3-car battle for the 4th position at the moment. Sunboy 1.4 seconds back, just not really agreeing with this track. Someone mentioned earlier during qualifying that they would hate to be Sunboy because the Alfa Romeo has no grip around here. Well, I'm starting to think that maybe Sunboy agrees with them.
Absolutely. I think that might be Reigns, I think it might be Reigns, Tarak is 1:33.022, so he's getting faster and faster, but not getting close to Smoke. Delange holding on for dear life with this DRS tray. This is what I think it was. I think this is what Reigns was saying earlier on. Try and get yourself in front of the drivers, because that way they can ruin the tyres just behind. So this track can be very, very frustrating if you can't get that move done as soon as possible. But hopefully Matty will try and make the move onto JP. sooner rather than later, but I will not be surprised in the next few laps. We'll have to wait and see what happens during this situation here, Tim.
So I'm really enjoying this battle between Delange, JP, and Maddie. There's really not a lot of drivers making up spots at the moment, but it's fun to watch. However, I did see through the final chicane last time that Tao seems to have a nice little run on Russman, or at least an opportunity to make a move. He, of course, did not. He has stayed in the 9th position, but he did have a look-see into the final chicane. We'll ride on board with him here, and hopefully when he gets to the final chicane, we'll see what he can do on Russman.
So let's see what he can try and do on Russman. I'll just try and watch the other battles while you're watching that, Tim. Yeah, Tarak is getting close to Smoke, 6/10. Matty holding on to try and put the pressure on JP in 5th. And I'll tell you what, from Delange all the way down to possibly 11th, that's insane. It's like all like a second of each other, at least, together, Tim.
And Tarak ran a 1:32.924. He is very close to Smoke. He is within half a second of that AlphaTauri. So Smoke is probably starting to feel the pressure from that Papaya Orange McLaren. And Tarak, I'd say he's in a pretty good place. He looks fairly calm, while Smoke, he's definitely struggling a bit here. Now, I'm wondering if Smoke has just used up the soft tires a little bit quicker. He did pull out to a decent gap early on. I'm almost wondering if maybe he just went a little bit too fast too soon.
Possibly. Looks like Sunboy's got off track, Tim. Sorry about that. Sunboy has got himself off track. I'm not sure if he made a mistake or got caught by any of the drivers, but he dropped himself all the way down to 12th, Tim.
So Sunboy's bad day going to worse, as that Alfa Romeo just is not agreeing with him whatsoever. We'll go back to the battle for the leads. However, Tarak, he has lost a little bit of ground to Smoke, 0.8 of a second now separating these two drivers, and they are really the class of the field because Nitrogash is a whopping 3.4 seconds behind the two lead cars. So definitely between Smoke and Tarak at this very moment, but it's only lap 5 of 27, still plenty of racing laps left to go. We'll go back and take a look at Tao for just a moment. He's found himself in the 7th position, but Maddie getting even closer to JP down the straightaway, using that slipstream to his advantage. Maybe down the DRS straight, he will have an opportunity to make a move around the Ferrari. Had a little bit of a look-see into the final chicane, but ultimately knew that he could not make that move. Had to back out of it. JP getting even closer to Delange now.
Absolutely. Here we go. Can JP make the move onto Delange? Here we go. Can he make the move? He's got to do it now. He's going to try and do the sub side to an event moment. Caught. Well, just a tad collide between those two drivers. Oh, Delange really caught up to the back of JP, and that may be brought Matty trying to go on the inside line against Delange. But I tell you what, Delange is holding on for dear life, but JP made that move on the inside line. I was trying to get the camera view, but it got caught last minute. But there was some contact, I was trying to say. There was contact between the two, but only for a bit of contact, Tim.
So Delange finds himself in the 5th position now. Maddie in 6th, JP up to 4th. They got a little bit to go before they catch Nitrogash, 1.7 seconds ahead, but Tarak is slowly closing in on Smoke once again, 0.4 of a second separating these two drivers. And I would just about say that Tarak is within striking range of that AlphaTauri, but here is where Smoke excels. He has got the straight line speed, and you can definitely see it as Smoke is just barely able to put some distance between the two. Tarak is using the slipstream to his advantage, but he mostly breaks even. He even loses a little bit, as you saw that Smoke was for a brief moment 0.53 seconds ahead versus the 0.50 that they were at the start of the straightaway. But here's the DRS. This is where Tarak can really think about making a move. You saw Smoke swerve, trying to break that slipstream, protect that inside line as much as possible, and it worked for him because Tarak was able to close in a little bit, but he wasn't close enough to make a pounce on that AlphaTauri. So Smoke knows exactly what he's doing up there in the lead, but so does Tarak in 2nd place. I think that this is going to be a battle that we are going to be talking about until the very end now, because these are two very fierce drivers that refuse to give up.
Absolutely. I mean, Tarak, he needs to try and push on massively, to be fair, and at the moment he's trying everything he can. Smoke, however, I'm trying to see where Smoke is. Smoke has not had a good start of the season. He's only had 2 finishes outside the top 10, but this could be, without doubt, his best finish of the season. We'd have to wait and see. Tarak, also, he's had a torrid season. He's only had one finish, and that was the first race of the season. And last 2 races, he did not finish, Tim. So we'll have to wait and see if Tarak can try and hold on for dear life. But again, you never know what's going to happen in F1 at all.
So both drivers fighting for their best results of the season. And look at how close Tarak is this time. This might be the end of Smoke's reign, and Tarak is underneath him into the final chicane. It's going to be a side-by-side battle, and Smoke gives him room. Tarak tries to do a crossover, just can't quite do it. And now Tarak is diving down into the pits. He's going to go for the undercut now.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, Tim. I think the mediums can last all the way to the end, either way. Because the softs, like I said, he's going for the hards. He's going for the hards. He's played it safe, Tim. Towel, 2 independent moment. Going ahead of BX and Roberts. And that is a good move, Tim.
So Tal in the Red Bull now finds himself in P7 just ahead of him, though. There's some battles between Delange and Maddie, as well as, hey, guess what? JP. Haven't we talked about them before, Malcolm? These 3 drivers, they just do not want to leave one another. It's almost like they're 3 brothers just hanging out, having a good time, racing around Suzuka. But I'd say that brotherly love is going to not exactly exist when it comes down to the final few laps. We're going to be seeing a lot more risks being made and overtakes possibly being attempted once these drivers start to get too frustrated with just riding in a DRS train like they are at the moment.
Absolutely, and we'll have to wait and see what happens during this DRS train coming up now. You got Matt, Rain says trying to, Tarak's mistake was going for the hard tyre last time round. Pit for the mediums, call him up someone. Unfortunately he's gone the hard tyre, so he's playing it safe. But I do think that's a bit of a bad call, because normally the medium should last all the way to the end. But I think he's just playing it safe, Tim.
Well, I guess we'll see which strategy turns out to be the better one here in just a little bit, but since he has already made a pit stop, then we need to start expecting the rest of these soft tire runners to be coming in as well. Now, Smoke, he is not coming in this time. He is staying out 8 laps on those soft tires, and pretty much all these drivers are staying out. You mentioned yourself that you expect the tires to last about 13, 14 laps at the max, so that stands to reason that we still could see some green flag racing with these guys for a little bit while longer before we start to see him dive down into the pits, which brings into question even further Tarak's choice to pit as early as he did for the hard compound tire.
Absolutely, and like I said, Tarak is 21 seconds, not 21 seconds ago. I'm not saying that in a song mode, but it's 21 seconds to the leader of Smoke in first place. But again, all of them above him are going to be pitting anyway, regardless. Saab has gone for the soft tyres, so it's going for number 1 there. Yellow flag set to 1. Yellow flag set to 1. Not sure what's happened there. There might be Tarak. Who made a mistake throughout the S's part now, but Saab starting at the back of the grid. Tiger just got ahead at turn 1. But yeah, unbelievable scenes. I just hope Tarak has not made a mistake, Tim.
And I think he did, Mal. He did drop significantly there for a while. It went from about a 21-second gap to a 26-second gap to the leader of Smoke. So Tarak might have had a little bit of a mistake there, but still holds on to the 9th position at the moment as we continue to watch the battle between JP Delange and Matty. Smoke has decided enough is enough. He's pitting on those tires after only 8 laps. So will the rest of the pack follow the leader? A few of them will. Delange goes in, as does Matty, but JP will not. Neither does Nitrogash. So Nitrogash and JP will lead this race. Smoke comes out of the pits. Where does he rejoin this race at? As Tal and Sir Spud find themselves in the top 5 now. Russman, even Smoke's teammate, is jumping him. Smoke is now in the 7th position.
Absolutely. I have to wait and see how everything goes during this race. But unbelievable scenes, and I was worried. I was laughing at him because I thought he was going, yeah, no. I think it was just only a few people. He was trying to twist with the S's part to see who was going to follow as well. But if Nitrogas JP can try and hold on a little bit longer with this tyre wear and not go overboard with the tyre wear, they will have the advantage of the medium tyres. But Tarak, I wonder if that's a mistake from the pit crew, because Tarak has got himself in the pit and he's in with the medium tyre, Tim.
Well, the medium tire can go to the end, as we know now. Unfortunately, though, for Tarak, that makes his second pit stop. So he's going to have to hope for a safety car to bring himself back into contention for this fight. So a well-timed safety car would definitely be a saving grace for that McLaren driver. Otherwise, it's looking like Smoke might have just lost his biggest competitor in this race.
Well, Tarak, look, as I said, his best finish was 9th, and that was the first race of the season. That was at Bahrain. So anything could happen. Anything could happen in this situation. But let's hope. I'll just hope that he'll get into the top 10. Nigel Gasser goes up into the pits now. Will JP follow? Yeah, JP will follow now. So can Tal will be the new leader of this Grand Prix at the Suzuka track as well. So absolutely insane. Thank you so much, guys. We hit the 10 likes marker. Fantastic stuff on the video. Thank you so much, guys. If we can get a few more likes than ever before, would be a massive boost. A massive boost. Thank you so much, guys. Rain says the amount of sushi these drivers have eaten over the weekend is getting to them. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Who are you watching so far, Tim?
Take a look at Russman still, as he is locked in a battle with Sir Spud, but Sir Spud's starting to put some more distance between the two of them. So maybe that Mercedes was just sandbagging a little bit, and now he's finally letting loose what he had in the tank, trying to get away from that Aston Martin. And meanwhile, we'll go ahead and take a look at JP, who, guess what, is still locked in a battle with Delange and Maddie. Doesn't matter that they made pit stops. They just swap positions around a little bit, but these three drivers just will not leave each other alone. JP now on the offensive, though, trying to get around Delange, who's found himself in the 6th position at the moment. Now, we still are waiting for Tal, Sir Spud, and Russman to pit. So once those drivers pit, this should be a battle for possibly the 4th position rather than the 6th position.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've noticed as well, Matty's struggling on the last sector, you know, the chicane part after just before the downhill section at the start finishing line. That's where Matty's struggling to catch up with these drivers. I know he's going to know this, but he's still struggling. JP, he's getting close now. 2/10 now to Delange. This is where he needs to get really close to him, because that's where he's losing a bit of the time. Now this is where everything happens now. Chaz now. Delange is trying to get rid of that slipstream. Matt is also trying to keep on. JP goes topside. He made the move perfectly. Got ahead of Delange. That is the big crucial point in this race, Tim.
And that was a great, nice, clean move from the Ferrari driver. And Delange, you saw him trying to break that slipstream, but there was nothing that he could do, so he stayed on the outside line, had to let the Ferrari driver go. But see, now Delange can put pressure on JP, and he can make a similar move once they get back to the DRS straightaway. That's the problem, though, when you're that lead car and the guy behind you has DRS, is you are a sitting duck, and you know you're a sitting duck, and there's very little that you can do to fight against that DRS. And you saw it plain as day with the battle between JP and Delange. Now we'll rejoin the battle for, let's see, actually back here there is no battle to rejoin for the lead, I was going to say, but no, it is Tal and Sir Spud that are up there. Of course, Sir Spud's starting to get a little bit closer to Tal, so we will take a look at him for just a brief moment, as he should have the DRS once they get back to the front straightaway. And Sir Spud actually gained a ton down that straightaway, so the slipstream has paid dividends to the Mercedes driver.
Absolutely, it's paid dividends completely. And here we go, he's got a good chance to try and get us a good exit. Just right close to the edge there comes the Spud. Tal's trying, he's got no ERS. And Spud! Oh, Spud! Oh, I thought he was going for it. I thought Spud was going to go over the inside, or, well, first he was going to try and go around the outside, but he was really close to him. He was really close to close the gap. But like I said, the medium tyre should last at least 20 laps, you would think, over 20 laps. But I hope Sir Spud can try and get this close battle with Tao in first place, Tim.
And even if they do last 20 laps, that's still going to be about, 7 to 8 laps of green flag racing on the soft tires once they have to pit. So that would fall right within the window that we've seen. We saw Smoke pit with 8 laps on his tires. But we saw Matty actually down the front straightaway. If you looked at the time interval, he got very close to Delange, within a tenth of a second briefly. But now Delange has put some more gap between them, so Matty maybe taking advantage of the DRS some and maybe having a car that benefits more from straight line speed rather than the rear downforce that some of these other cars have. So this is when I really wish I could peek at the setups of some of these drivers to see what front and rear wings that they're running, because it would be amazing, I think, to see the difference between two driver setups.
But then other drivers may copy their ideas the next time we race around Suzuka. Remember that?
Of course. But you see, from a commentator's point of view, I've got to look for that information.
Oh, of course. Yeah, and wink, wink. Yeah, I need that information as well, Tim. Wink, wink. With all the setups galore, how these guys can try and push on, and they're doing a fantastic job. To be fair, they're doing a fantastic job. Matty getting close now to Delange. They're using all that ERS, and they're halfway into this race. Now, I don't know if it's a tactical thing, try and get rid of all that ERS as much as possible, but it's damage limitations when you go down the straight, Tim.
And meanwhile, Sir Spud has found his way around Tal. So Sir Spud leads, Tal in second, Russman in third after 14 up 27 laps. This is the Invictus Racing League's PlayStation Performance League Japanese Grand Prix, brought to you in partnership by gridfighter.com, Nailcoat Hall, and Driver 61. Now, Sir Spud, he got his first win in quite a while just a couple of weeks ago, and with it became tied for the winningest driver in this series with 8 race wins. He is tied with Delange. Him and Delange are the only 2 active drivers with that title. Of course, Yas and Scopefilter also have 8 wins, but they no longer race for the PlayStation Performance League. So sadly, they are not here to defend that title. But if Delange or Sir Spud, either of those drivers were to win today, then they would be the winningest driver in the Realistic Performance League, and that would be a miraculous accomplishment. And I'd say that Sir Spud understands that, and he's got a little pressure on him maybe to perform today.
A little bit of pressure, but don't forget, he still has to pit. So with Tal, so with Russman, they're both, all 3 have got to pit. Yellow flag set to 3. Yellow flag set to 3, I'm trying to see who that is. That is O'Steven at Spoon Curve. I don't know whether he spun completely or got caught by one of the drivers, but that's where the yellow flags was, at Spoon Curve in the second sector too.
So just waiting to see when Sir Spud and Tal and Russman respectively are going to decide that enough is enough and make their pit stops. And waiting to see which driver is going to inherit the lead. It should theoretically be Smoke, who has pretty much had the track to himself practically all day. He did have a bit of a battle with Turok, but ultimately Turok made a bit of a mistake. He finds himself now in the 12th position behind all these drivers, so Smoke has the track mostly to himself. He's closing in on his teammate of Russman. He's now within DRS range, so these 2 drivers can actually work with one another and get closer to Tal and Sir Spud. So this could be an opportunity, a rare opportunity, where you find your teammate on track and you can both just work together to benefit not only both your races, but the team's race as a whole. Because remember, there is a Constructors title that we are fighting for as well.
Absolutely. But we've seen drivers in the past, Tim, where if they're going to be team orders from that perspective, will they let his teammate through even though he's faster than you? Well, I know you're hitting comms, Tim, but I'm just saying, imagine if he was faster than someone, and he looks like he is getting past Russman now. So good early doors, Tim. Good early doors to get him so close to the top 2, Tim.
And Smoke's gap to the leader is only 2.4 seconds. So if Sir Spud and Tal pitted this time, they would lose the lead. Of course, that is to be expected. They started on those medium tires, and after 5 laps on the medium tires, I'd say Smoke's tires are just now starting to come alive. But Tal, he wants the lead back, and he wants it now because he is 0.4 of a second behind Sir Spud. He just refuses to let that Mercedes driver go. It doesn't matter who is coming up behind him. He is only worried about what's out the front, and that is the Mercedes of Sir Spud. And this is going to be a decent battle between these 2. Waiting on that DRS zone. It really pains me that Suzuka does not have a DRS zone down the straightaway that we're coming up now, because that would be a great opportunity to see even more overtakes. But we're going to see Tal get a massive boost of slipstream, and that's almost like DRS, but not really.
Almost. We'll have to wait and see if it is going to be a moment where Tal could get himself ahead. I wouldn't be surprised if they pit now, Tim. I will not be surprised if they pit now, but I reckon in the next 2 to 3 laps they'll pit in. Unless they prove me wrong. Oh, Spud! Spud is going to the pits. Spud is going into the pits. The first driver from the medium tyre from the start of the race is in the pits. So, unless Tim, the tyre wear from his car's perspective is completely gone. That's the only thing I can think of. Always try to do the undercut. I think he might be doing the undercut to try and get the soft tyre and get close to these guys. And look at this. If Spud comes out, he might come out just behind Matt. Well, not just behind, but we'll have a bit of a run-in to try and close the gap onto Delange and Matty and JP for 5th, 6th and 7th, Tim.
So that is 8.8 seconds that Sir Spud is going to have to make up, but those tires on Matty's car is medium tires, and they're old tires. So Sir Spud at least has the benefit of the faster tire compound working with him, and he's also got the benefit that Matty is continuing to be locked in a battle between JP Delange and himself, which has pretty much been the story for this entire race. Lap 17 of 27 here, and I'm wondering if they can keep it on for 11 more laps.
Yeah, they'll be fine. They'll be fine, Tim, with those tyre wear itself. But I'm just waiting for Spud to pounce at that very moment when you'll see the fastest lap time coming down in the next lap or two. But I'm just watching Sab now getting close to Sunboy in for 10th place, and Taraka also, who had that torrid pit stop mistake from the pit crew. So he's going to have a few words with the McLaren team or the car allocated McLaren team to find out what is actually going on. He might have gone to the hards by a mistake, you never know. Russman, right, and Tal have gone into the pits now. They're going on for the softs. Now this is where it's going to be really crucial. Where's Spud now? Spud's coming up to the start finish line straight. Delange is getting close to JP again. If Spud gets ahead, he's just got ahead of Tal. He's got ahead of Tal, but Spud has got himself a lap extra, but Tal will have a lap free from the keeping himself from the tyre wear. I've lost the words at the minute. It's been a great race so far.
It's okay, Malcolm. We understand completely, but we know what's happened. Sir Spud in P7, Tal in P8. Smoke has re-inherited the lead after the pit stops. Nitro Gash in 2nd, JP in 3rd, Delange in 4th, and Matty in the 5th position. Lap 18 of 27. Just a handful of laps to go. We're starting to get down to the end. Can Smoke take his first win of the season? And Sab is retired from the session. What has happened to Sab?
I don't know if he got caught by... It looks like Tarak went off track. I don't know if Saab got caught on it, but we've got our first safety car of the evening. We've got our first safety car of the evening, Tim. I did not see what happened from Saab's point of view, but from the map that I saw, it looked like Tarak went off track. And I don't know if Saab tried to avoid it and lost it and hit the wall. I don't know. I can't answer that, but I'm trying to see who's close. But at the moment, Smoke will... Well, actually... For the guys who are the medium tyres, they're absolutely loving this because they can go and pit for the soft tyres.
And that's exactly what Smoke did. Nitro Gash as well. Does JP do the same? He is in the pits. Most of these guys, and in fact, I think all these guys are going to be taking the soft compound tire. Yes, they are. Sir Spud, though, where does he come back out of? He is in the 2nd position, and he almost beats Smoke. But Smoke just barely holds the lead. So now it is Smoke, Sir Spud, and Tal, your top 3. That was a well-timed safety car for Sir Spud and Tal. It puts them from fighting for, what was it, about 7th position to what is now fighting for the podium positions and possibly a win.
Absolutely. It's iconic as well, to be fair. So I thought Smoke was going to do it again. I thought he was going to go all the way to the end. But he even said he's not very enjoyable with the track itself. He's always struggling. Stephen, I'm very surprised that he's back in 14th place. So hopefully, I'll have to wait and see where everything goes. But Tarak's having a torrid time. Ginger Tiger as well. You would expect Ginger Tiger to get ahead, but again, remember, Ginger Tiger and Stephen had that bit of a collision, not between them two. But they had issues at the start, at lap 1, Tim.
That they did. And you know, this also, speaking of issues on lap 1, of course he didn't have issues on lap 1, but he had issues a few laps later. Turok. This brings Turok back into contention. Now, sure, he is on soft tires just like everybody else. And he is in the 12th position, a far cry from being in the 2nd position, which he was at the start of this race. But make no mistake, this does at least allow him an opportunity to improve that position significantly. We could see Turok get into the top 10, maybe a long shot, a top 5 today, thanks to this safety car.
Yeah, it could be a top 5 finish, but we'll have to wait and see how everything goes, because you never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen in the F1 scenario, and it could be anything dramatic, even like the last lap of the race. Don't count your chickens just yet until we find out what's going to happen in this dramatic racing at the Suzuka track. Just to recap, guys, again, thank you so much to everyone that's contributed by liking the stream. If you want to contribute more, like the stream. If you're a newcomer and you just joined in and you like the stream so far, press that like button. Be a massive help to myself and Tim as the commentators, and also be a massive help to Invictus Racing League on the YouTube channel as well. Make sure you like and subscribe. Will be a massive help. But also, check out the InvictusRacingLeague.com, the racing site, where you get all the latest info and all the latest stuff that's on there as well. But yeah, Tim, I mean, this is kind of like a 9-lap, about 8 or 9 lap shootout with everyone on the soft tyres. So, are you still going to stick with your top 3? Or are you going to change? Well, you will have to change because of Turok, but who would you change for Turok at the moment?
Well, my top 3 was Smoke, Turok, and Ginger Tiger. Now, Turok and Ginger Tiger, they look like they're probably not going to be getting a podium today. Smoke still looks pretty good, though. But honestly, I'm liking our top 3 for the top 3. Of course, Rustman there in 4th place. Let's not count him out. I think that he could maybe sneak his way into the podium position as well. But let's not forget that his teammate is leading this race. So the big question here is, does his teammate help his teammate get a podium? Or do they both just run their own race? I think that Smoke, he's not going to be helping his teammate get a podium today. Rustman's more than capable of doing that himself, and Smoke is after his first win of the season.
Absolutely, and it's going to be nerve-wracking stuff at the Suzuka track at the Japanese Grand Prix, and the safety car should be going into this lap. It is, it's going into this lap. So here we go. Smoke needs to bunch the cars up. He needs to bunch those cars up and try and cause mayhem, because by the time he hits the chicane, he really needs to get a good start, because the Spud will not be wasting any time. If he can get a good exit, he's trying to tease, and I think he might be going 3, 2, 1. I think we're off. Tim, we're off now.
And did you see the wiggle from Smoke's car? He almost bended on the start, so he didn't get quite the distance that he was hoping for, but I think he got just enough. Meanwhile, there is some jostling around for position in the back. Looks like JP was having a look underneath the McLaren. Ginger Tiger and Turok, they're swapping positions for 11th and 12th position. And now Sunboy, he's in the mix. He's in P10. He's trying to get up next to Maddie. So it's JP, DeLange, Maddie, and Sunboy running 7th through 10th at the moment, and they are just locked nose to tail. Pretty much the whole field is at the moment. Smoke still leads over Sir Spud and Tao. That is your top 3. Lap 21 of 27, and Smoke is pulling away. Tao is trying to get up to Sir Spud, driving it in a little bit too hot in that corner. That allows Sir Spud to put some distance between him and the Red Bull.
Absolutely, and Smoke really is on fire at the minute, but remember, Spud has already done 2 more laps than Smoke, so that I'm not saying that the time has already gone at this stage, but Spud needs to step up the gear, because otherwise he's going to lose momentum and could lose out a few positions. But he's in a good position to finish up in the podium if he can try and hold on for the next 8 laps. Sorry, 7 laps. I'm getting a lap ahead of myself. But yeah, so many battles galore, Tim, in the mid-pack. I don't know which one to choose, because they're coming up to 130R, and it's the most iconic track, and they're going down the straight as well. You don't know which one to pick, Tim.
And JP, he clipped the grass a little bit going into the final chicane, so he went a little bit wide. He lost a lot of position, a lot of ground to Nitro Gash ahead of him. That brought DeLange up to the back of that McLaren driver, or the Ferrari driver, excuse me, as the Aston Martin of DeLange trying to go to the outside of JP.
Oh!
Can't make the move done. Nitro Gash just ahead trying to get around the other Aston Martin of Russman. So the two Aston Martins locked in very tight battles. Lap 22 of 27. JP, he successfully defended for now, but DeLange is going to be looking to get around that Ferrari. Meanwhile, we'll rejoin Russman and Nitro Gash, but Russman is slowly pulling away from Nitro Gash. He has got his sights set on the Red Bull of Tao there in P3.
Absolutely, Tao's holding on for dear life. He really wants to get a good finish. Tao, he's had his first podium of the season. Tarak has got a 3-second time penalty from multiple warnings. Tao had his first podium of the season. That was back at Bahrain. That was the first race of the season. So, can he get his second podium of the season? That is a big question. Or maybe even better, because Spud is not catching up to Smoke. It looks like Smoke could be on for odds-on favourite to win the Japanese Grand Prix, unless Spud somehow gets a rocket on his Mercedes to push on massively. Otherwise, Tao will be under a lot of pressure on him. Unbelievable stuff. It feels like Hamilton Verstappen moments here, Tim.
And it practically is. It might as well be, and I'm sure that they're about to be fighting just like it was. And lap 22 of 27 now turns into lap 23 of 27. Smoke runs the fastest lap, a 132.111. And who knows, maybe those 3-1s is a little bit of a sign of where he's going to finish at the end of this race. I know that he hopes so. As Spud goes a little bit wide, he's going to have to be careful there. Be careful, Sunshine. Don't let that car go too wide. Do not get a time penalty as Tao clips the curb, has to dance with the car, and he might lose that position to Russman. Russman saw the opportunity, tried to capitalize on it, could not find his way around that Red Bull, but he's going to be ready for that next time.
Yeah, have to wait ready for it next time, but Nigel Gash just nearly caught the back of Russman in a fourth place, but here they go. This is where everything changes. Spud needs to push, because there is cars galore, Tim. There's cars galore. From second all the way down to 11th, anyone could finish in the top three. Well, the second and third places, obviously. Oh my God, who was that? That was, it looks like Dixon Roberts, the winner of last week in the Dutch Grand Prix. He was struggling at the hairpin corner, but I tell you what, Spud's struggling. Spud is absolutely struggling, and we will have the DRS at this stage, and this is where you cannot afford to do it. Nigel Gash is going to go side by side, two in the bed moment. Go on! Oh, brilliant move there from Nigel Gash. Unbelievable scenes, Tim.
And Russman trying to get back around Nitro Gash. Will he be able to do it successfully? Still a 2x2 battle. Down the front straightaway, though. Which one's going to be able to get the DRS? Russman now locked into a battle with JP. JP in the Ferrari. He's trying to throw his hat into the ring, and he has. He has got by Russman. But will he clear Russman? Yes, he does. Before they get to turn one, Russman loses 2 positions in 1, and that has got to hurt. In fact, he's lost even more than that. I believe he lost about 3 positions. He was fighting for the 3rd position. Now he's all the way back to 7th.
Absolutely, and it's damage limitations at the moment. Hopefully they'll get a few more kicking in. 4 more laps to go, Tim. 4 more laps to go. Can anyone try to stop Smoke to win the Japanese Grand Prix? At the moment, he can't see it happening because Spud is really struggling to hold on for second. He'll be pouring with sweat. I know he'll be thinking about this, but he'll be absolutely pouring with sweat. Oh, contact!
And Nitro Gash is spun. Nitro Gash is spun. He was spun in the hairpin, so he is dropping back. He's in P10 now. He's been able to get the car back moving, but he's in P10 at risk of losing it. But he definitely lost P9 to Sunboy, who's just ahead of him. Nitro Gash, he's going to have some flat spots on those soft tires. So now it's Smoke, Sir Spud, Tal, JP, Russman. Your top 5 with DeLange, Matty, Tarak, Sunboy, Nitro Gash, your top 10. It's lap 24 or 27 of the Invictus Racing League's PlayStation Performance League Japanese Grand Prix. Brought to you in partnership by GridFinder.com, Nailcoat Hall, and Driver61. We are getting down to the final few laps. Smoke leads, and he has got a decent lead. He's got a gap built up behind him, but the real battle is for second between Sir Spud and Tao.
Tao, 2 in the bed moment. Tao going round the side and made the move perfectly against the spud. Just at the nick of time. But just to mention about, Tarak is out. Tarak is also out. But what I was going to say about Nitrogash was, the way it looked at the moment, correct me if I'm wrong, I do apologise if I do this next week, but it looked like Nitrogash caught the back of Tao at that hairpin and lost the momentum, and hence why he is out. Well, not out, sorry, he's dropped himself down to 9th place, but at the moment, Tim, Spud is fighting for his life to hold on for that podium position.
And I don't blame him one bit for being maybe just a little bit nervous here. JP trying to get another podium position on his season, of course, the winner from Bahrain, and trying to be a podium finisher here in Japan, but he has got a Mercedes standing in his way, a Mercedes that looks like he's just maybe a little bit faster than the Ferrari, but no one is a match for Smoke today in that AlphaTauri, who is 3.3 seconds ahead, lap 25 of 27, about to be 2 laps to go, and pretty much there is battles all the way back to the rear of the pack, except for the very front. Taking a look now at the Alpine, trying to get around the Aston Martin of Delange. It is Matty who sends it into the final chicane and makes contact with the McLaren of Nitrogash. Nitrogash is spun around. Matty holds the 7th position. Nitrogash loses once again, and he gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings.
BXN Roberts just making a move up the inside of 2-1. Russman could not do anything about it. BXN Roberts sends it into the inside and say, thank you very much, I will take that 5th place. Oh, we're getting close to JP now. JP, the tyre should be fine. The tyre, go on, yes! Brilliant! Absolutely brilliant there from BXN Roberts and Russman, 2 in a bad moment. Oh boy, days! Sorry Tim, I've lost the plot. What a power so far.
And JP holds on to the 4th position, at least for now, but Russman, he is not going to take no for an answer through the hairpin. He tries to gain a lot on entry, and he does, but does he keep it on exit? No, he does not. JP pulls away. Russman having to play defensive once again against Matty now, because that Alpine, he is closing in. But I don't think that Russman really cares what's happening out the back, only what's happening out the front, trying to get back by that Ferrari driver of JP, but can he do it this time? He's going to have to use every bit of ERS if he's going to be able to do it. Not sure if he's got enough left in the tank. That rear light, it is flashing, but he is underneath the Alpine, and the Ferrari as the Alpine of Matty tries to follow the Ferrari around the outside. It's a tight battle. Look at Russman just barely able to edge himself ahead into the final chicane. Matty loses out a little bit there, cannot make up a position. JP finds himself in 5th place as now the final lap has started, and Smoke is still your leader over Tao and Sir Spud. Smoke 4.6 seconds ahead, but the real battle is what you're watching now. 3 wide just about, almost, into turn number 1, and Matty is spun. He is off the track now, so it's JP and Russman left with this battle. And it is a yellow flag in Sector 1, that is for Matty, but there will be no safety car on the final lap. Russman has one last opportunity on this lap to get around JP, and there you see he's trying to make a move in a place where moves usually aren't made, but Russman doesn't care, and he still cannot get by that Ferrari. I'd say that he is tired of the color red after today.
Just for today, mate. I think probably for the next week or a few weeks or so. We'll have to wait and see how everything goes. But while you're watching that battle, BXN Roberts getting close to Spud now for the last podium. Bear in mind that BXN Roberts has got himself a penalty of 6 seconds. So whatever happens, let me just double check on the leaderboard. So whatever happens, he will drop himself down quite a few positions, down to 9th as it stands. So at the moment, if BXN Roberts gets himself ahead of Spud, this will be a great opportunity for him, but he will not finish. But we'll have to go back to Smoke because he's near the end of the race, Tim.
And through the final chicane and now rounding the final corner, it's not been the best season for Smoke, but the trials and tribulations are over, and he will win the Japanese Grand Prix. 2nd place, the Red Bull of Tao, and 3rd place will be the Mercedes of Sir Spud. That's your top 3. That's who we'll talk to, but who gets the 4th position? It will be JP in the Ferrari, Russman in 5th. Who will be in 6th place? Sunboy in the Alfa Romeo. Delange in 7th place. Speed Queen 80 in 8th. 9th is BXN Roberts in the AlphaTauri. And then 10th place looks like it's going to be Nitrogash, along with 11th place, Maddie O'Steven in 12th, and Ginger Tiger in the 13th position once these drivers make their way to the front straightaway and finish the race. But depending on time penalties, depends on where they're going to finish. And it looks like they are even on time penalties, so O'Steven in 13th, 14th is the other Alpine driver of Maddie after the unfortunate spin in turn 1 on the last lap.
Absolutely, and it's dreadful times as well. So Spud has got himself driver of the day. Tell you what, that was a great drive from Spud. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Reeds is absolutely loving it as well. But fantastic stuff. Well done to Smoke, who's not messing about at all. Absolutely not messing about. Unbelievable scenes and fantastic stuff. And Spud will be absolutely delighted with that because he got himself a podium as well. But unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable scenes. We're just waiting for, and Tao also finishing in the top 3 as well. So, Tim, I'll let you do the honours for the race classification.
And your official finishing results for the Invictus Racing League, PlayStation Performance League Japanese Grand Prix. Smoke in first, Towel in second, third is Sir Spud, JP in fourth, fifth is Russman, sixth is Sunboy, Delange in seventh, eighth is Speed Queen 80, BX and Robertson, ninth, 10th is Nitro Gash, Maddie in 11th, 12th is O. Steven, Ginger Tiger in 13th, 14th is Turok Sab in the 15th position. We will talk to Smoke, Towel, and Sir Spud here in just a moment once they join.
Absolutely, we'll just get the drivers in. For a brief moment to hear their thoughts of the top 3. I know one of the drivers is already in, but we'll just get the others, make sure they're in the commentary box because we want to make sure to hear their thoughts of the race. So just bear with us a sec, guys. We will get Smoke and Towel in. So I think Smoke's just joined in. We're just waiting for Towel. Just as I was saying, they've just joined in. So while we're waiting for the race grid to disappear, I mean, absolutely brilliant race tonight. Absolutely fantastic. Rain says, well done about the top 3. This was definitely the hardest GP this week to predict from me. See you for now, guys. No worries, Reens. Hope you have a great week, and I'll catch you next week. Ellie says, another great race. Thanks, guys. No worries, Ellie. I'm glad you had a fantastic time watching the race. We will talk to the top 3 in a moment too. Smoke, Towel, Spud, before you say anything, please make sure you allow a voice to be shared. It's set to always allow. If you're not sure how to do it, go to the party settings, and there's an option called allow a voice to be shared. Make sure it's set to always allow. So while the drivers are getting themselves sorted and ready to go, we'll hear the lightning effect of Smoke to hear his thoughts of the win at the Japanese Grand Prix. And Towel with that great battle with Spud near the end of the race, but Spud will be pouring with sweat to hold on for that last position after they tried to catch up from Smoke's point of view. But he did start in 14th, so that was a great race from him, and he did get driver of the day from the race itself. Guys, are you all set, ready to go?
Yeah, all ready. Yeah.
Okay, so Smoke, Towel, Spud, I'll pass you over to Tim to do the questions. So Tim, over to you, mate.
And first things first, we'll talk to our winner of Smoke, your first win of the season, a season that is, up to this point, proven to be a forgetful one for you. Just tell us, what is your raw emotion after winning this race?
I have nothing. I'm just glad that I'm here because it means it's been a good day.
And I can tell that you are elated. You're probably one of the happiest that we've been able to interview. So, just tell me, though, you and Turok really seem to be the class of the field. But being fast is one thing. Putting together an entire race is another. Turok made some mistakes. You seem to stay calm, cool, and collected. How were you able to do that throughout the entire race?
Well, between me and Turok, we raced an F2 on Tuesday, and it was much the same there. So I think he was more of a vendetta against me because we did the same thing, running 1-2. Yeah, so I think he was trying to undercut me to try and get me off guard, because I think he spotted that I was struggling on the tyres. But yeah, I think where he was pushing so hard, obviously he's made the mistake. I have no idea what actually happened because I was expecting to see him in front of me when I came out of the pits. So, in terms of just staying calm, I wasn't in the slightest. I was panicking most of it.
I don't doubt that, but you know what? Maybe panicking helped you win this race. Congratulations.
Cheers, Tim.
And now we'll talk to Tal, second place finish. Now, Tal, that safety car benefited you and Sir Spud both, but you did a fantastic job of capitalizing on it, getting around Sir Spud to finish runner-up. And this is your best finish of the season thus far, is it not so? How do you feel?
Elated. Starting off with mediums, to be fair, I didn't expect podium. I expect aiming for top 10 again, and that safety car was well timed. When we was coming round and I saw how many was in the pits, I just wanted to physically push Sir Spud because he was in front of me, because I thought we could have got smoke as well. Unfortunately we didn't, and yeah, into the safety car 1, 2, 3. As soon as I saw smoke go, chased him off, and honestly just gobsmacked by this result.
Is there anything that you think you could have done differently that would have allowed you to challenge Smoke more closely for the win at the end?
Pit 1 lap later. Rustman was behind me, and I think he got the benefit of the pitting under safety car. Obviously, he still ended up behind me, so I don't think it was that beneficial, but there was no way of catching Smoke. He was faster on the night, and I just didn't have that pace.
Well, second place is still a good run for you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And now Sir Spud, our third place finisher in the Mercedes. You got a win a couple of weeks ago. Now you've got a podium. You're starting to turn into maybe even a championship contender. I know that it's probably a little bit painful that you're not sitting there in second place or even first. You were so close to both. But third place, you've got to think, is still a fantastic day, is it not?
I'm happy with third. There was no way, even at the start of the race, I would get this high. Just like Towel said, safety car just fell into our hands. That's the only thing that got us where we are on the podium. If it hadn't been a safety car, I think we'd have been fighting for like 9th, 10th, and 11th. But like I say, safety car came out, and as I saw Smoke coming out of the pits, I thought, can I get him? But I saw the end of the pit line, and obviously you can't pass when you're over the safety car line, and so I had to brake to let Smoke through, otherwise we might have collided. I didn't want to do that, so I just eased off and let him go, because I wouldn't have got him. I'd have had to give the place back anyway, but it'd have overtook me anyway. He was just too quick.
But you know, you had to try, and that is the key. And it seems that you don't really feel confident around Suzuka. But did this podium today teach you anything that maybe you can carry on the next time we race at Suzuka?
No, the curbs are terrible. I was trying so hard. I've watched F1 and F2, and I was watching people run on the curbs, sliding, and they're spinning. I was trying so hard to miss all the curbs, but sometimes you just clip them a little bit. But I had a couple of moments, but yeah, I knew I weren't going to get a win, or I didn't even think I was going to get a podium. Fair play to Towel and Smoke for getting 1-2. Just didn't have the pace.
Well, third place is still a good day. Congratulations, Sir Spud.
Yes, thank you.
Malk, I think that we saw a fantastic battle around the Suzuka circuit. Granted, not a lot of changing for positions as maybe we've seen in the past, but it definitely wasn't for lack of close racing. It was pretty much a train of cars a lot of times. And you know what? Guess what? Rustman, Sunboy, Delange, Matty, you know, those drivers that we were talking about, and JP as well, they didn't actually finish next to each other. So JP, Delange, and then Matty, they've got cars in between them, so they did leave one another eventually.
They did, but it was a great battle all over the place. There was a lot of they were trying to break the slipstream as much, like a few times during the start finish line straight. But overall, without doubt, there was some great battles, not only from them from those guys, but everyone else around the paddock as well. There is a few that probably need to be checked by stewards, which we're not going to mention on the stream anyway, but they'll probably need to be checked by stewards. But overall, it's without the incidents galore. The safety car helped quite a lot of the drivers, and it felt like an 8-lap shootout to see who would try and get into the top 3. And well done to Smoke, absolutely fantastic. So Tal, unbelievable. Spud, I said on the stream, it was pouring with sweat because he was on the limiter. He really was on the limiter, and I'm sure he would be saying the same. Joe says, let's not talk about spinning on curves, please. Lol. I'm still haunted. We will try to stop that now, mate. I'll promise you that we'll be finishing the stream now. But yeah, great race overall, and we can't wait for next week.
And it's going to be fantastic next week. But congratulations to our podium finishers. Thank you to every driver that raced with us, and thank you to everyone that watched the stream. And a big thank you to our sponsors, Nailcoat Hall, Driver61, and GridFinder.com for jumping on board, supporting the stream and the league as a whole. And that's all the time that we have. But until next time, goodbye and have fun.